Hey guys, how you doing? Berserker here again with another video, and today I'm doing another manga recommendations to one of my absolute favorite mangas of all time, Eden, It's an Endless World. Seriously, this manga is up there with the greats like Berserk, Battle Angel Alita, Lone Wolfen Cub, Phoenix. This manga is masterpiece level. So what is this manga about? This manga is about a post-apocalyptic world where this virus called Disclosure killed 15% of the human population, and this manga simply details the aftermath of that, how humanity dealt with that. And to say that this premise that I just mentioned is an oversimplification of this manga is an absolute understatement. This manga goes to places where you can't even imagine. Now, the basic story of this manga is based on Gnosticism. Now, Gnosticism is the occult brand of Christianity. Just like Kabbalah is the occult interpretation of Judaism, and Sufism is the occult interpretation of Islam. Of course, Gnosticism is a little bit older than Christianity itself, but that's a whole different complex topic that I'm not going to get into. What you need to understand is that this manga is heavily based on Gnosticism and Gnostic myths, which means that this manga is very deep. The issues that it tackles are incredibly deep. I've only seen a handful of mangas actually try to tackle them. The first one that comes in mind is Phoenix, about just how many human issues this manga talks about. The meaning of life, racial tensions between humans, the acknowledgement that life is suffering, and asking the question, can it ever get any better? Now, another positive thing that makes this manga amazing, other than the premise that's gonna leave you scratching your head for weeks and really thinking about life deeply in ways that you might like or not like, is the characters. I know I say this about every underrated manga that I talk about, but seriously, this manga has one of the best characters and one of the best characterizations I have ever seen. There aren't literally any good guys or bad guys. They all suck and they're all good in their own ways, just like humans are. Everybody's selfish, everybody's out there trying to achieve their own goals, so it feels incredibly realistic. Everybody's three-dimensional. There aren't any characters that have the stupid goal of saving the world. Everybody is just out there trying to survive in a very cruel, harsh world. And talking about the world, this manga has one of the best settings I have ever saw. Now here, picture this. A post-apocalyptic world, 15% of the human population died. In order to combat the virus, most humans had to do cybernetic surgeries on them and become cyborgs. Now, if that wasn't interesting enough, the conspiracy concept of the New World Order is applied in this manga. Not just the eugenics killing a lot of people kind of a New World Order. Even the world government. There's this World Federation of countries called the Proletariat that is incredibly corrupt and incredibly powerful and controls most the territories of planet Earth, and one of the very few things opposing it is an international drug cartel so powerful that it's basically considered its own country, called the Nomad. And fighting ensues between these two massive organizations, other than the personal drama between the characters and the fighting that happens between them. And to add to that, the world is filled with racial tensions, natural disasters, food shortages, and all around just bad stuff. Now, if that doesn't sound like an interesting setting to you, I don't know what will. And of course, one of the many themes in this manga is drugs. And pretty much every character in this manga uses drugs in one form or the other because of how shitty the world is. And this manga has the number one best depiction of drugs and drug use and addiction and trying to quit your addiction I've ever saw in a manga, or pretty much any medium. Period. And you would think that a philosophical manga like this is gonna be all pretentious and hard to understand and boring to read through, but you would be completely wrong. This manga is not only deep and tackles some very heavy issues, this manga has one of the best action scenes I have ever saw, and pretty much the only portrayal of modern warfare, at least in a kind of realistic way. I mean, this manga's got fighter jets, rockets, surface-to-air missiles, assault weapons, martial arts, satellite-assisted combat, sonar view, knife combat, tanks, just to name a few. I mean, you can really tell that the mangaka, Hiroki Endo by the way, the same mangaka that wrote All Around Meguru that I recommended in my channel in the past. He really did his homework on the military hardware. And the adult topics that this manga addresses are not just exclusive to spirituality and the meaning of life and drugs and crime and poverty and philosophy and all that good stuff. It also addresses sexuality and has one of the best portrayals of sex work I have ever seen. And by the way, it's not just the action scenes that are going to keep you entertained. I mean, there is a lot of fan service in this manga. In multiple ways, if you know what I mean. So yeah, other than the amazing philosophy and the amazing depth, this manga is a very, very entertaining manga to read. And speaking about fan service, the female characters in this manga are top notch. There's a sex worker in this manga, one of the best female characters I've ever read in any manga or pretty much any fiction of medium ever. There's also a female police officer, amazing character. They're not just an object of fan service, which is to be expected of a manga this high caliber. Another amazing thing about this manga is that nobody is safe, and I mean nobody. This manga had my jaw in the floor multiple times. You would think that some characters would have some plot armor, but nope, they just bam, end up dying. So this manga is gonna always keep you on your toes. And all of this is complemented by amazing art, amazing art direction, and amazing character design, and also amazing environmental design. So yeah, this manga ticks all the boxes. This truly is a masterpiece. If Berserk and Battle Angel Alita and Lone Wolfen Cub weren't so close and dear to my heart, this would be my favorite manga of all time. And I could not recommend this manga highly enough. Go read it. You will not regret it. It's deep. It's gonna make you think. It's gonna make you question your life purpose. You're gonna have fun with all the action and the fan service. So yeah, what can a manga fan ask more? So yeah, that's it, guys. That's the review. Like the video if you did, and subscribe for more videos.